Pan and the Dragon Sprite. The man spoke. She flitted. She knew he was close. As always, she scented him before he arrived. She, his favourite, a water sprite, a wood nymph, a fire pixie. She shifted with elements. She brought spring dew to leaves and stems with her laughter. She knew he would visit her, and that he would want her. She knew she would let him chase. Her eyes flashed with delight as she sprinkled herself with the water of the spring, and as she sang her song. The scent approached. Her voice entered the wood. It sprang from tree to tree, from leaf to leaf. The goat was there. She pretended not to notice. Playfully, she flung water and watched it sparkle as it arched through the air, as it caught the morning light. The water trickled from her hair, her elbows, from her breasts. She heard his breath. He watched her. She did not look, but played and sang. His breath quickened, and as he approached, she turned her eyes to him, and he looked at her, and he seemed to pant, to salivate. His scent increased. She laughed and threw water of the spring, then flitted into the woods, to peek from behind trees as he chased. Always a little too quick, she kept him at bay as he leapt from rock to rock and root to root between the trees, and over and through the stream, back and forth to glimpse again her bright, enticing eyes. As if from fingertips, sprite water flew, streams of drops landed until joined they ran from coarse coat to fling with his movement, to flash with colour in the gleaming rays. He also played, entered the game willing, playing the frustrated, aching but waiting, steaming the water as he splashed back at her, hiding and then leaping from behind ferns to catch her. But he did not catch her, not until she let him, when he cornered her and she stood leaning against the great broad trunk of an ancient oak, as he sniffed at her neck and at her body. She felt warmth. Heat emanated from him, and it stirred her, lit her. She felt the fire rising, and soon mist formed between the trees to settle and bring all to a shimmer. Sweat, mixed with dew, beaded on horned brow as she straddled rough-haired hips and thighs, as his mouth took her nipples, shoulders, and lips, as she mounted him, as he carried her. She felt the rough of the bark at her back. She exuded the water of the spring she embodied, and it fell from their bodies as he gripped her, as she writhed, as she grabbed at his ears, at his shoulders, and as she scratched at his chest and held and kissed his wine-flamed jaw, cheeks, and brow.